Hello, dear viewer. Welcome to Samuel Academy. My name is Samuel, and my profession is a meteorologist. I make weather observations. In this video, I want to explain to students and anybody else how an equipment that is called a 6S thermometer works. This equipment is used to measure both maximum and minimum temperatures. This is how it looks like. A 6S thermometer. This is how it looks like. So you want to explain how it works. Now, this equipment has a YouTube. This is the YouTube. Okay. And then it is filled with mercury. In the lower part, we have mercury. This is a mercury column. All right. And above the mercury column, we have alcohol. This clear liquid above the mercury, this one here, is alcohol. And in both ends of the thermometer, we have metal index, black metal indices. So this one is a black metal index, as well as this one here. And at this end, we have two bulbs. The two bulbs are completely sealed, this one and this one. Now the two bulbs are filled with alcohol. This bulb here is completely filled with alcohol, all right? But this other bulb is partially filled with alcohol. Okay, what happens is that when temperature rises, the alcohol expands. Okay, so in this part of the thermometer, the alcohol expands and moves downwards because this bulb is completely filled with alcohol. So it expands and moves down. As it moves downwards, it pushes the mercury here downwards. This mercury column is forced to move downwards, and then it moves upwards in this other end. All right. So as the mercury column moves upwards in this end of the thermometer, it pushes this index upwards. Okay. And as the index moves upwards, when we attain the highest temperature, the end of this index will show the maximum temperature. That is in this part of the thermometer. And if we check clearly on the scale here, you realize that the values here are increasing. This one is, okay, this one is 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on. So the end of the index in this part of the thermometer shows the maximum temperature. Now what happens when air temperature reduces or drops? We find that the alcohol will contract, and therefore in this part of the thermometer, this part, as the alcohol contracts, the mercury here, this mercury column, is forced to move upwards to occupy that space. And in that process, it pushes this index upwards. And if you check on this scale, you realize that the numbers are in descending order. This one is 20 degrees Celsius, 10 degrees, 0, minus 10, minus 20. So this part of the scale is for minimum temperatures. So as the mercury moves upwards, it will push this index upwards, and the end of the index will show the lowest temperature it has been attained. So in this part of the thermometer, we read minimum temperatures. So we find that this instrument is used to measure both the maximum and minimum temperatures. It is called a 6S thermometer. Now, before I explain how we reset the thermometer, I want to remind you to subscribe to my channel, all right, to like the video, and in the end, you can share the video widely, all right? Now, let me explain how we reset the thermometer. As I said before, it has two metal indices, this one here and this one here. This index is a metal and it is made of iron, all right? So it is of magnetic material. So to be able to reset my thermometer, I use a magnet, okay? I use a magnet. So I can reset by pulling this index downwards. Now it is here. And I can reset by pulling downwards up to where the mercury column is. So I have reset in this part of the thermometer. I can also reset in this part of the thermometer by using the magnet. So I just pull the index downwards up to where we have the mercury column. So I have done the resetting of the thermometer so that it is ready for the next measurement. All right. So this is how we use the 6S thermometer to measure both maximum and minimum temperatures. All right. So dear viewer, thank you so much for viewing this video. So remember to subscribe to this channel to be able to see more videos about weather instruments and other equipment. Welcome again.